Hi Aries, and welcome to your Love Tarot forecast. This is for June 1st through June 15th, 2019. I'm going to look at singles, couples, missing somebody, just, a little bit of everything, all scenarios for Aries in regards to love and romance. So let's get an idea of what the overall energies are. Okay, that's kind of an extra message I feel that flew out there. Okay. So we have secrets, things hidden about the past. And we have compassionate, kind, and caring soul. So listen, Aries, there's something in the past. I don't know if this is on your side or the side of, somebody that you are involved with, but there's some things about the past that are being hidden, not being discussed, not being talked about, not being revealed. Now, whatever these things are, it doesn't have to be like super malicious, but there's something about the past that is just behind the scenes, and I feel it may be coming to the surface this week. So if that's you, Aries, heed caution if you have kept something hidden from your mate, or you've been trying to keep something hidden from your mate, and a lot of times this could be where we all have different insecurities, and there's just different parts of our life and our experience that we don't want to share. And I get a big sense that's what's going on, because on the other side we have compassionate, kind, and caring soul. So Aries, this might be also where somebody just reveals all to you, just pours their heart out, okay? Now, we have one-sided, emotionally selfish, and immature. So what I feel about this is, whatever this is that's being hidden, that's not being talked about, it makes the person who's hiding it, makes them appear as though they're very selfish, one-sided, maybe even a little mysterious. But what I think is going on is there's a lot of insecurity, shame, regret, a lot of just really distorted, unresolved feelings about the past. And so that's why they don't want to talk about it, or you don't want to talk about it, just depending on who this is that's keeping this information at bay. I feel just because it's like a sensitive subject, it's like touching a nerve. And so because of that, it makes, this person appear very one-sided and maybe a bit immature. But the truth is, it's a defense mechanism to guard and protect a wound that exists within. However, on the other side of this, I see a kind, caring, and compassionate soul who will like hear you, Aries, if this is you that has things that you're holding inside. If it's not you, if it's the other person that you're dealing with that you feel is keeping something kind of hidden and locked away, you would allow them to pour their heart and soul out. I think they might, though. So let's pull some tarot here, Aries. All right, so we have intuition, dreams, insight, signs. And then we have messenger of flames, stimulating messages or desires revealed. Now we have the divine feminine of emotions. This could be a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And lastly, we have 10 of flames, baggage, overwhelmed, scattered. Okay, so listen, yeah, I do feel that one person in this connection that's coming through, whether you are, committed, married, separated from the person, like whatever the case is, what I see here is they're kind of disconnected, closed off, mysterious. I mean, Luna is reiterating that. And the reason why is because there is a lot of emotional baggage. There is something from the past that they don't want to talk about, that they want to hide, that they want to keep under wraps for whatever reason. And I feel it's because it's just a very sensitive like trigger for them, and baggage. I mean, it's right there. It's they don't want to deal with it, and so it makes them appear in a certain light when the truth is they just don't know how to cope with it. Bottom line, they don't know how to emotionally filter through it, to deal with it, to face it. And if this is like something that happened between the two of you, this is where they're not wanting to own up to the fact that they screwed things up, and they're the reason why it's not working right now. Like, it's too painful to them to own that and recognize that, okay? Now, for some of you, this may be where this person's going to finally break down and share their heart and soul with you. Or if this is you, Aries, where you're kind of keeping something under wraps, secretive, you might finally just break down and pour your heart and soul out, because divine feminine of emotions, authentic, deep, empathic, and then with the compassionate up there. So this is a person who is really going to understand you, really going to accept you, not judge you. Okay, so yeah, Aries, definitely something is hidden, but with intuition there, you have a sense of it. If it's the person you're dealing with, you have a sense of like what's being hidden, even if they won't own up to it. And if you're the one that's trying to hide something, they have a sense about it, okay? Because this person, I feel, is like probably spiritually gifted, whether they're aware of it or not. So if that's speaking of you, Aries, there you go. If not, it could be speaking of the other person. And if they're spiritually gifted, they're an empath, they may be incredibly sensitive and struggling to deal with, you know, just different things that has happened to them in their life. All right, so we have twin flame love. So this is where one of you really feels that you guys belong together, that the connection is such, it's like no other, okay? Now we have boundaries, eternally yours, and incomplete. So yeah, Aries, one of you, if not both of you, because we've had two different cards come out, really believes that you belong together and there's a special love and connection here, okay? So you have to apply this to your situation, whether you're together, apart, married, single. If you are completely single, I do feel like you're talking to somebody, okay, with that right there. But this would be like newer. It could be a new connection coming in with the messenger of flames, kind of like a little flirty banter back and forth type of connection. This person to me looks to be very sensitive, probably a water sign, okay? But again, Aries, they might have a lot of emotional baggage that they're dealing with right now. And with incomplete, I would say like they've got to get that worked out before they can give their whole heart to you. So if you meet somebody new or you're talking to somebody newer and you don't feel like you guys are coming together, it's because of that. Like they have some emotional baggage that they keep hidden and secret, locked away, they don't talk about, all right? And you would have to be an empath in order to pick up on it and know that it's there. And Aries, you know, if this is you, you are picking up on that. And interesting, this just jumped out at me that I didn't notice it before, is the moon card in the tarot represents Pisces. However, to me, Cancer is ruled by the moon, so any card for moon energy always brings forth a Pisces or a Cancer for me, okay? And then you have the divine feminine of emotions, which is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And then messenger of flames, fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag. So Aries, and then Ten of Flames, that's more fire energy. So I see fire and water. up in this mix, okay? And nothing else. That does not have to mean that if you're not dealing with the water sign, this isn't a message for you. I can just tell you that it's very strong for Aries who are connected to a water sign, Cancer and Pisces especially. And, you know, I really do feel that those of you where this connection isn't like brand new or just coming in, there is a bond here and you both can see yourselves with each other, okay? But with boundaries, it's like there's a bit of a barrier here because, again, there's this baggage. There's something that's hidden, not being talked about, and that, like, it keeps a hole in somebody's heart. And while that exists, there's no connection, okay? There's no like total connection across the board. We come together, we could be together, but there's still a distance that exists in between until this is dealt with and faced in whichever party that exists. All right, so let's pull some more cards. All right, so we have the masculine of karmic energy. We have the Six of Twin Flames. We have the message of heart energy. And we have Seven of Heart energy. All right, yes, Aries. Okay, just to make this easier for me to read this, I'm going to say this right here is you, this twin flame love, and this right here, this eternally yours, is who you're dealing with, okay? If it goes the other way, swap it, that's fine, but just to make this easier for me to explain, this is you right here. And what I see is where you're going back and forth in your heart or in your mind of, is this my one, or is this just a karmic situation due to the baggage or the secrets, or really feeling like who you're dealing with is selfish, one-sided, okay? Or if you have a lot that you're trying to deal with emotionally, you are seeing them as selfish, like they're trying to push in, get in, know your business, and you're putting up boundaries, okay? Like, no, wait, stop, that's not your business. And, you know, it could go the other way. If they're the one that's has the secrets, it's like there's this boundary here. Now, we have the Six of Twin Flames, and this is where this is a mutual recognition, just like we've already seen, okay? But it's in between these two cards, and what it's clarifying is this boundaries. So with this, I can tell you the connection exists. It's mutual. There's deep recognition on both sides. However, the boundaries existing is, again, because there's some emotional baggage here that somebody has got to work on in order for this union to flow in harmony or actually come together fully. So Aries, apply that how it fits for you. But I think the most important thing for you to know is the person that you're dealing with, like, they see the connection too. And one thing that's hard to understand is just because maybe you are like, oh my gosh, I see this connection, I feel it so strongly, it's just like, that's the green light go for you, all right? For other people, even if they recognize that and they see that and they're like, that's the love of my life right there, it doesn't mean they're like, let me jump on board and get with that, you know? I have a friend who, you know, she was talking to this other friend of hers, and her friend, you know, had been talking to this guy, and they finally had an intimate encounter, and she never talked to him again after that. And the reason why is she was like, that guy right there, is the love of my life, and I'm not ready for that. I could never handle this. And she walked away. And so she never gave him an explanation whatsoever. I mean, imagine what he thought. Here they're hanging out, they're finally intimate, and then he never sees or hears from her again. You know, imagine what he's thinking. But the truth at the end of the day is it was so damn good for her. It was so real. It was so raw. It was so true and genuine that she ran from it, because herself was in no position vibrationally, emotionally, mentally to be compatible with the love of her life. And she knows it. Like, so instead of indulging that and, you know, taking it for what it's worth and potentially destroying it because she was not in a place, she walked away. Now, she could have handled it better, obviously, yes, but she walked away instead. Now, is that the love of her life? I cannot say. Only Spirit knows, and will bring them back together if that's meant to be, okay? But for the most part, she runs from him, avoids him, not because he did anything wrong, not because she's not crazy about him. That's the problem, is it's too real, it's too raw. And so, Aries, that might be an issue here, is even though it's real, that might be too much for somebody else if they're not in a place emotionally to receive the love that you're trying to give, or vice versa. And there's nothing to be done about that except for focus on healing and evolving from that version of yourself, or, you know, the person you're involved with, them making the choice to grow and evolve from this and face it head on, opposed to pushing it away and just letting it be a wound that festers deep inside of them because it keeps them feeling incomplete. You know, I'll tell you, there was somebody that I thought I would never, ever, ever get over. And I was sure, no, that's got to be my twin flame. At this point in my journey, I recognize him 100% as a soulmate, because to me, karmics are more of like something that comes into your life. It's good or bad, and it's a person that kind of just fades away. A soulmate is somebody who, you know, they're just a part of your life and your journey, you know, throughout, somehow, some way, big or small, regardless of how intense or crazy things are. And, you know, forever and ever, because in my mind, he was my twin flame because of the connection and all we had shared, and that I'd never loved like that before. You know, I held on to that notion, which prevented me from seeing what it was. And when you see it for what it is, that's when you receive the growth and the evolution, and you can expand and move on and finally get over something. When I realized he's just a soulmate that truly destroyed the old version of who I was, because it had to happen in order for me to evolve into my spiritual journey, my spiritual path that I planned for this lifetime. That had to happen. Only a soulmate could bring that type of transformation to another person, okay? But because of the fact of what he did and what happened to destroy me, the love, we could never go back to the love that we once had. That's how I know he's a soulmate. I will always love him. He will always be significant in my life. But there's some things that happen you cannot bounce back from and come back and ever love, because, you know, it happened for purpose. And I just see this person here, whether you or who you are involved with, that they're kind of in that struggle where they're very conflicted about what happened or why something happened and played out. And the truth is, I feel it's to expand them into a different version of who they are. And, you know, we kick and scream as we go into this new version of ourselves, even though it's for the betterment of us, me included. And that's kind of what I see going on. And until, you know, this person accepts and owns the baggage, the trauma that exists within, and wants to grow and overcome it and let go of the notions of what was supposed to be or what could have been, man, it's just rapid growth, healing, clarity, release like crazy. And, you know, I'm telling you, when you ask Spirit to show you who your true twin flame is or who you truly belong with, Spirit will bring the truth out. And you just have to be willing to accept that. And it took me a while to accept that, you know, this particular person was just a soulmate for me. And I'm not saying that who you're involved with is a soulmate for you. What I'm trying to say is I feel that this is a very special union, very much could be twin flame. However, one of you is screwed up over a soulmate or a karmic. And that baggage has got to be corrected before this union is in like smooth sailing. Okay, we're almost in dreamland if we think that we could just sweep it under the rug and it's all going to be okay. It doesn't work that way. You know, true union, true twin flame love, that's a purity. There's a genuine rawness to that connection. And there's, in order to be and to come together, like the synergy of the twin flame, man, it's about soul evolution and vibration and being able to vibrate at a higher frequency so that when we come together in that space, that heart space of love, it creates like just this different energy and that goes out to humanity. So twin flames, it's more than just this magical love. It's coming together and the energy that is created from the love, the bond, because it's never there until the union comes together and then it starts being created, and that goes out to everybody, to the collective consciousness of man. And in that energy is the coding of true love, of what, you know, romantic love is really about, because everything is so romanticized, humanized, and, you know, that's just not what our romantic experiences with the one, whether you want to call it a soulmate, twin flame, whatever, that's a whole different ball game than everything else. And you have to be vibrating in a certain space to align to that. You know, just like you have to graduate 12th grade to get into college, it's like you have to do your work to come into that union, because in that union there's more going on, whether you're consciously aware of it or not, through that love, through that connection. It's the coding, things being changed because, well, okay, I'll get off that tangent. I just feel like some of you really needed to know that and understand that. And so until this person really owns and accepts their past for what it was, or talks about their own behavior, you know, just whatever it is, because there are secrets here, Aries, the true union cannot take place, even though you both feel it, even though it's in both of your hearts. And I feel like one of you is just kind of really spooked by it, because when one person's operating here, offering that type of twin flame love, the other person's here, they feel the connection, but it scares the bejeebers out of them because they're not vibrationally ready for it, okay? And I see that here, whether we're together or we're apart. There's, man, I'm sorry, Aries. I know that's painful, but that's what's going on. Like, somebody really has got to face the past, whatever that means for you and your connection. And again, anything new coming in, I feel, you know, if there's like hesitation, that's what this is about, is, you know, a baggage from the past. So let's pull a couple of cards here. All right, yeah, we've got soulmate and we've got love songs. So Aries, if you guys are separated from this person, they are definitely reminded of you as much as you are reminded of them, especially through songs, okay? And you may be hearing a lot of songs too, and I think that's Spirit giving you confirmation that you're still very much in their heart if you're separated. But with soulmate, I just feel that's a confirmation that whether it's you or the other person, there's some stuff that's happened that they're not over, and it's connected to a soulmate rather than a karmic, and they've got to work through that, whether that's you or the person that you're involved with, Aries, okay? But on the other side of this, again, I just see this as you seeing this person as your one, the person you're supposed to be with, whether you believe in twin flame love, you know, soulmates or whatever. Love is just a random luck of the draw. You really feel connection here. They feel connection with you. Might be that they're very spooked because their vibration isn't in the right place, or it's just they can't even really consciously come into full awareness of this until they deal with and face this baggage, okay? So I hope that that helps, Aries. For the first half of June, we will see what unfolds after that. So those are your messages, Aries. I'm wishing you all the best. Take care.